It's, there you go. So now that we've started recording, my name's Kelly Willis, and Priyanka and I are going to be doing this presentation. We flipped a coin, and I'm the person who's going to kind of open it and introduce her. Let me get my screen going here, and we'll start walking through the opening section of this. We've got a presentation that we would like to do that includes, I'm sorry, here we go. Yep, there we are. Working from home. I hope everybody can see this screen. And what we're going to be doing is just walking you through some of the ins and outs of getting connected from your home office, getting your home office kind of set up, getting connected from the home office to work, and working with a lot of the applications that are now available either through the office remotely or directly on your desktop using web-based software. I'd like to also introduce Priyanka. Priyanka, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Kelly. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Priyanka from the IT team. I will be covering the Office 365 portion of in this presentation.
Thank you very much. So now you've all got some sense of the two voices you're going to be dealing with for the next 45 minutes or so. And so here's our presentation. The opening gun on this is basically that next slide. We're going to walk through a few of these things. I'm going to talk you through what is the basic setup at home or in your remote office, the equipment you need, the software, that kind of stuff. Then Priyanka is going to walk through a lot of the Microsoft Office software and how to use that, how it's configured. It's really turned out to be a boon. I've really enjoyed working with it, which was kind of surprising. I have to say that in my past, I have not been a Microsoft fan, but I have been really impressed with this Office 365 setup. After that, I'll go over the Zoom and setup and some of the ENT resources, which is going to include the virtual private network connections and working with the remote desktop, getting back to your machine back at the office. Then we'll go over a little bit more information, some resources, and then we'll have some time for some Q&A. So with that, I'm going to go on to what do you need to get set up at home? The first thing you really need, obviously, is a computer. Some people are working off of laptops. Some people have got towers. Some people brought home the equipment they had at the office. We're actually preferring Windows 10. It's a lot easier for the office to support. And frankly, Windows 7 and everything before that is no longer supported by Microsoft, although Microsoft is still doing some software updates, including a lot of the malicious software prevention and the Microsoft Defender software, which is supposed to be their version of your virus protection and your spam prevention, that kind of stuff. For those of you who are using Macs, I can't help you. I don't do Macs, but I know that we have done some support on that through the office. And if you need help on that, please feel free to get in touch with the department's IT tech support. You need a decent internet service. Doing this off of your phone is often really thin. Trying to do the video is often minimally good. You need decent connection at home from whoever you've got, Comcast or Spectrum or whatever. Here it says that you need a good Wi-Fi reception. You don't actually have to have good Wi-Fi reception unless the laptop or the computer or whatever you're using is trying to connect to your home system by wireless. If you're hardwired, like the computer that I'm doing this presentation on right now, I don't need a Wi-Fi connection at home at all. But if you're going to be doing it using Wi-Fi, you're going to need decent connection, and you'll probably find out that you've got some spots in your house where the reception is really good and some places in your house where it's really bad. At that point, you've got two choices: stay out of the spaces that are bad, or you can get additional hardware that will connect to your local network and boost your Wi-Fi connectivity in those rooms or those spaces, floors of your house that the Wi-Fi is kind of crappy in. For a lot of this stuff, you can do some of these meetings just with your smartphone. You just call into a meeting because it's not going to be audio or video. It's just everybody consulting. Most of you have already got that. And this is really important. As I said before, Microsoft puts out updates to the current operating system on Windows 10, and even for the one that has already expired, Windows 7, they're still putting out updates to that. The same thing with your iPhone or your Android, the same thing with your Mac. Pay attention to what the updates are and do them. Sometimes they take a while, so you try to set them up on a schedule to do it off hours. And for those of you who are really off into the weeds, you might want to look at doing the firmware updates to your home network equipment. The router that you've got, or the cable modem that's doing your conversion from Spectrum or Comcast or Verizon into your home network. Some of that stuff needs to have its firmware updated. So let's move on to the next slide. The assumption now is that you've got a decent network at home. Frankly, if you don't have a decent network at home, you won't be able to access this this presentation. At this point, I'm going to hand it off to Priyanka, and she's going to walk you through all the nice software you can do once you're connected to the network and got your home office working. Here you go, Priyanka.
Thanks,
Sure.
Kelly. Let me start sharing my screen. Okay, here we go. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so and as well as the presentation. So this is the presentation, and so this is what we're gonna talk about in maybe next 15 to 20 minutes. Is that we have Office 365 subscription for all the users in our department. So we'll talk about how best you can use and what different apps you have to access on Office 365. First thing, we're also going to talk about how you should access Office 365, and maybe we'll show you some tips and tricks while going and covering those topics. So back to the presentation, I'm just going back to the demo. Let's go back, and I made sure that I logged out so that I can show you how to log into Office 365. The one thing that if I have to take away from this presentation, that that should be remembering the office.com URL. So everything that you want to access on office.com, Office 365 is on the office.com. So let's just remember this URL, office.com. And if you come here, you will see that you can log in. Right now, I'm not logged in here. Important point here is to remember that you have to log in with your ad.ucla.edu. I know it's confusing because our email works with ts.ucla.edu. So it's always confusing that which account should I use. The thing to remember is that on Office 365, the account work is ad.ucla.edu. So let me sign it here. Hopefully it will ask me, but it did not ask me because it remembered it. So maybe I should go back and sign out and make sure that I show you the interim screen that I wanted to show you. They completely signed out. Let me go back and make sure that I show that screen. Office.com. So by the way, it remembers because it's my personal computer. I already said that remember me. Otherwise, it would have not remembered. So rather than doing this time, I'm going to say switch to different account. I want to make sure that it asks me that. Hopefully this time it will ask me. So that's my here. This is the screen that I wanted to show, that every time if you go to office.com and try to put ad.ucla.edu, it understands that you are from UCLA domain and shows you a UCLA customized screen for your login. So this is where we put our passwords. I use password manager, so that's why you see so many different things there. So it's your BOL login @ad.ucla.edu. And then your password. Some people, just a second. It's a long password. So some people get confused. What is the password? This is the password of your email. So if you if you were in the office and using the same password for your email, then you should use the same password here. And if it's your public, personal computer, you say yes, stay signed in. If it's not your personal computer, maybe you better say no, you don't want it to remember your password. This is the landing page of the office.com, and this is the place you can literally access every information on Office 365. This page shows you the documents, the recent documents, the pinned documents, all the documents that you are working right now. And they might not be just your in OneDrive, they might be in your some SharePoint site. So literally it pulls every document that you work on recently and maybe from your Outlook. So it pulls up all that information and shows you in a consolidated view here. Suppose so here I have recent documents, but suppose one document that I am working currently and I don't want to go back and find it every time when I'm working, and I know that I'm using that document a lot. Right now, I can go and literally just pin it here and it will come in my pinned document. So I'm working on this document right now. I don't want to go and look for it every time. So I'll just go and pin it and it will always be in my pinned tab, always here on the office.com. It also shows you OneDrive, SharePoint. This is the place how you navigate to different apps, and I'll be covering that piece a little bit more in detail later. Since I'm here on the landing page of office.com, I just wanted to show you a few things. This is your profile. You can check your profile from here of your office.com if you want to change your photo or something like that. But one thing that I wanted to show here is the settings here. So if you go to settings on this page, this is the side gear icon that you see top right corner has the theme option. So if you're just bored of seeing the same office.com every day, maybe you want to change your theme and just go with a little bit different, maybe this or something like. And by the way, when you change this is not only this place, it changes in whole Office 365. So you will get this experience in SharePoint, OneDrive, Power Apps, everywhere in the Office 365 umbrella. I am not that kind of person, so I prefer the blank one. So I go back in that one. There's another thing. If you are someone who like the dark mode, you can change that setting as well and have your office.com look in a darker mode rather than a lighter mode. Just wanted to share that in case you get bored of seeing this screen again and again. Now let's go back and see how we launch different apps from here. Actually, I remembered something else. One thing here is very important on the office.com is that everything is crawled and searchable. So everything on Office 365 umbrella, you can search from this search bar. Like if you want to search the app, you want to search for some document or people or site, literally everything can be searched from a single text box. So suppose if I remember, maybe in one of my project, I was working on something with the grad commuter or something. I can literally search here and I can see all different things that I have been working with the commuter. This might be helpful for you because sometimes you don't even remember which site was, because if you're working on many different projects, you don't remember the site name, you can just come here and do that. And then you can literally go and show more results and see, all the search related to commuter, all the files related to that, and maybe sites. I am interested in, something like that. Maybe if I see BCS, I just want to see the sites. I know there is a BCC site or, something like this. I can go and basically get to that site without even knowing the URL. Sometimes I get complaints that I don't know what is the site URL. You can literally, if you remember anything about that site, you can search here and find your site here. I think that's it on the landing page and covering just the basics of Office 365. Let's go. How do we launch, different apps in Office 365 for using those apps? So this 9 dot here is called a app launcher. So this will be present in everywhere in Office 365. So from SharePoint, you can open, Power BI, or if you are in a Power Apps, you can open something else just by using this app launcher, and it shows you all the apps. By default, it shows your most recent used apps directly here, so you can click here. But if you really want to see a big list of all the apps that you have access to, you can click on all apps and it shows everything. If you are still want to see in a better way that I want to see it in a page, you can literally click on the explore more apps and you can see um, all the apps that you have access to. We recently migrated our Office 365 subscription, actually upgraded from E3 to E5. So now you have access to Power BI as well. So from here you can access. So I know people access Outlook from different places. There's different way to access that. There's a OWA, but I prefer going to access my email by going to office.com and clicking on the Outlook here. And I don't know what happened. So I should maybe do one more time. Wow, that's surprising. Maybe we can go to some other app and come back later. But no, thankfully it is just maybe something, maybe my network is glitching a little bit. Okay, so that's how I access Outlook. I go to office.com. In the app launcher or the left hand side, you can see Outlook logo. If you don't prefer just seeing the logo, you can always basically click on the app launcher, and you know that, because sometimes it gets confusing which logo is for which app. So you can click on the app launcher and see that. So here I am in my Outlook. Most of the time, I mean, I'm someone who use the desktop, but yes, this is also the best place for you to check your email wherever you are. This is a web-based access. You don't need any VPN or something. You can just check your email anywhere. Few things here. You can also access your calendars. This is, if you click here on the bottom, if you see there are 5 things here. This one is mail icon. This is the calendar icon. This is a contact icon. And you might all have been seeing this in Outlook client as well. So it's the same thing. This one basically just goes to a different URL. So you might see the things, URL getting changed, but it's still the same thing. So your email, your calendar, your contacts all lives in your outlook.com. Um, the another thing that I thought may be useful for people is basically there is another tab called files, and this is in the outlook.office.com. If you click on this files, it shows you all the attachments that you have got in your email, because sometimes we get so many emails and so many files in that it is hard to find it. So if you are literally just looking for some files in your Outlook, in your email, maybe this might help you. You can literally see every file that you have received in here. You can filter based on time. You can search here. So I suppose I'm interested. I know that we send a feed to CTO for the GSTPR. So the name of that is GSTPR passes. So maybe I can just search for it and find it, that all the passes that we are sending to them. So it's just one more easy way to find um, all your files in one place in the Outlook. Here you also see your day here. So there is a tab here that is called your day. I like that my day, it shows me my all the meetings, and sometimes it even shows you what meeting you are, like right now I'm in this. It shows you your next meeting, your current meeting. So it's just more handy. If you are here, you can easily join the next meeting, literally not going anywhere else, but just from your outlook.office.com, and you can join that meeting. I think that's all on the Outlook. Let's go and see. We will demonstrate the same thing. So right now I'm in Office. I might now want to go to SharePoint. So if I want to SharePoint, if I really want to keep my Outlook still open, I have two options. I can go here. So this is the app launcher. If I go here, I can just click on SharePoint and it will open in the same window. But I am not interested in that because I really want my Outlook to be open here. I'm sorry, one thing I forgot before going to SharePoint, I forgot to show you how to open a new mailbox. Sometimes people have access to shared mailboxes and they have questions how to access the shared mailboxes here on the Outlook web. So when you come here, there is some, so when you click on your picture or your name, in the top right corner, there is an option for open another mailbox. You have to click on that and then type the mailbox that you have access to. Um, let's just see, I might not have access to this mailbox, but we can just try. And so this is how you have, wow, I do have access to this one. So if you see here, this is my email and this is right now email. And I can access that shared mailbox even from web. So I just wanted to show that because looks like I got to know from San that that's the query people ask some, number of times, that how do they access the shared mailbox. and they do appear in the two tabs, so you don't have to worry about, which email should I look. They appear on the two tabs. Okay, going back to launching another app from here, I can go to SharePoint, but I don't want to open the SharePoint in the same tab. So I can go and say open a new tab and it will open up. So that is another feature that we wanted to, tell you that sometimes it gets annoying when the same tab gets, again, from jumping from one app to another app. If you want to have another tab, you can use that feature of open a new tab. um, Coming to SharePoint is also an important app on Office 365 umbrella. It lets you create interactive sites without any code. Our intranet site is a SharePoint site, and you might have, I'm sure you all must have already saw our intranet site yet. Few things here. You see all your following sites here. So any site, if you go, you see star icon like that. So again, same thing, I would like to emphasize how, how do you search your things. I generally prefer doing this, searching it here and coming to finding my sites rather than literally going through the list of 25, 30 sites that I have access to, which sometimes become difficult to find which site I'm looking for. So search helps me there. So if I'm here on the BCS site, we can see there is a icon here called not following. If you just click on it, it says starts following, it basically lets you say follow, and then you can see that site here in the following. So that's one thing. If you want to mark a page for save for later, this is one way. Maybe I should go to find. So if I just come here and say I want to go to intranet site, and this is intranet site, if I just go there, suppose I am looking for a resource and I like that. So I'm here in the resources and I like the forms page. And I just want to, maybe next time I want to have a handy access to this page rather than going to the site and coming to the navigation. I have a feature called save for later. I can just, and remember to use this ribbon icon rather than this, because this link shows you all your saved content, save for later, from all over the SharePoint. So this might be a handy thing for you to access from different sites. But if you want to mark it also save for later, you just have to click on this ribbon icon and it becomes blue here. That's on the SharePoint. And of course, at any point of time, if you are in SharePoint and you want to go back to the landing page of the SharePoint, you can use this SharePoint link. So any app written here is the landing page of that app. This 9 dot is the app launcher that will let you go to any other app. But anything after 9 dot is the landing page of that app. So maybe this is the landing page for the SharePoint. Let's go back. Does anybody has any questions right now? I know it's going monotonous. I'm just talking. So okay, looks like we do not have anything. So I'll just keep continuing. So let's just, we already talked about Outlook and we talked about SharePoint. So let's go and see about OneDrive. So OneDrive is the app that lets you save your documents. Why it's good? And I don't know what's going on with me today. Everything is glitching here. Just a second. Wow, that's surprising. Okay, maybe we'll go to another app. If OneDrive is not right now, somehow there's some problem. I'm not able. So the point is that the app launcher gives you access to all different things here. We can go to Power BI. So we recently launched some of the Power BI reports. Anytime if you want to go to Power BI, you can go to on the app launcher, click on the Power BI, and you can literally see all your reports in one place in Power BI. This is one example of a report that you can just come to share it with me and find all the reports at one place. You can click on the report and go to all the reports that you have. And this is one example of a report that I'm showing. A report has multiple pages. So this you can use to access any Power BI report. So if someone says that I created a Power BI report and shared with you and you're not sure how do I access, you literally just go to office.com, use the app launcher and use the Power BI app, and you just come there and you can see literally every apps that you have access to here. Same way for the Power Apps, exact same thing. If you just come here, click on the Power Apps, you go to the Power Apps landing page, and you can see all the apps you have access to, which is in that environment. Just a second, maybe I am, you know what, I'm sorry. Maybe this is the problem with the Chrome. Just a second. Let me go back to here and maybe that should solve the problem. Maybe that's why I was getting some issues. So here, if you go to Power BI, this is how, sorry, this was Power BI. I was going to Power Apps. And if you're not aware about all the icons, yeah, go ahead and click on this, because sometimes just the icons doesn't give you which one is which one. And they keep changing. Microsoft keep changing the icons sometime. So if you come to Power Apps, you see all your apps and you can see everything here. So same concept, office.com, app launcher, and app name, whatever you are looking for. Let's try to go back to OneDrive one more time and see what happens there.
Thumbs up. It came up.
Yeah, here it is. So I personally like OneDrive a lot, especially during this time when we are working remotely, because at least now I don't have to go and find some files on my office machine, some files on my personal laptop. And then it just like, it's not a productive day if you're just spend half of the time looking for the files that you could not find. So I personally find it having all the files on OneDrive. Microsoft gives you for a business, account like the one that we have, we get 1 terabyte of personal storage for everyone for every account in UCLA Office 365 tenant. So anything which is my files is your OneDrive, and you can see I have a lot here. The one feature that I like more about, it's not only your files. OneDrive also gives you access to all the SharePoint sites that you have access to and the documents in that. So I know that I access Transit Portal Team SharePoint sites a lot, and I have ready access to that directly just coming here and seeing that. So if I'm looking for a file, rather than going specific sites and going to their documents, I would rather prefer come to my OneDrive and find all the files directly at one place. Actually, better than that, I prefer using OneDrive client app, which will literally give you experience of working in a file explorer rather than coming to a web page and accessing your files. So if I just show you the experience that I have, is I have the same files that you saw there on the OneDrive. I have it here on my University of California OneDrive. I don't have to do anything. If I'm just creating a new file, I'll just go literally, create any file here, like a status report. I keep creating that report that I can every week I can just create another report here and I can share it directly online from here. That's actually a better thing. Another thing is, if I just come here and show you, like we were working on a particular project and we did so many different changes. So even here, if you start setting up the OneDrive, you can see all the version history directly from here. So you don't have to worry about directly going to online and see that. So I find it very useful. And now I have this setup not only in my personal laptop as well as on my office machine. So I have access to all my documents everywhere I can. And definitely there is a OneDrive app for your mobile. It's Android and iPhone. You can access that directly from your phone as well. Same goes here. You saw that I had my OneDrive and all my SharePoint sites document library. So if you come here, in University of California, these are the two sites that I frequently use. So I already sync their documents. I can literally directly go and check any of the document. I can modify it, I can delete it, I can add it, I can do everything that that is needed, that I can do it from web. I can do it from my from the comfort of my own file explorer. That helps me a lot to be more productive rather than literally going to web for changing any document. I think that's all. Actually, yeah, let's go back. So we finished all these apps that we thought that we will be finishing. One thing that last, and I know we already did a session on Teams, so I know that everyone knows about Teams, but maybe a few
Priyanka,
things. Mhm,
I had a question on OneDrive.
mhm,
Uh, on when you sync, can you go over syncing your folders
mhm.
on OneDrive?
Yeah, I'm here. You wanted to
This
say?
say, how do you like? I guess you have to somehow sync certain folders that you want with OneDrive. You can choose what drives, what folders you want to sync with OneDrive.
You can select, there's a setting for it, but if you want all of it, I actually selected all of it. I literally wanted all my OneDrive thing to be synced, so it is everything. For sites, I chose what I wanted. I didn't want everything. So yes, you have a setting to choose what you want, what you don't want to sync. So all the sites that I do not use that frequently, I did not, sync it. But the things that I use more frequently, and I know that I'll be editing the documents in there, why not sync it and use it from the file explorer?
And how often does this sync? Does it like every time you go to this folder, is it already refreshed?
Yes, this is a continuous sync. They use very, good technology to literally do it every, continuous sync. It's not like, it will wait for something. As soon as you close the document, your documents is synced with that.
Thank you.
Actually, not even before saving, they have auto save on all the documents. So if you are using Word or Excel, it keeps auto saving if it's on drive, OneDrive.
Thanks.
Sure. Um, so coming back to Teams, so I know we already had a session, so everyone is aware about the Teams, but I just wanted to cover maybe just two topics. First of all, how do you download? Some people had the questions, how do you download Teams? I know most of the people can use directly the web. So if you again go to office.com, go to App Launcher, click on the Teams icon, you can see Teams directly in the web. You can use that for almost everything. But if you prefer a desktop client, and so you can, maybe just don't have to go to web every time, you can just come here, click on your photo on the top right corner. There is a download desktop app and download mobile app. You get both the options. So that's something that we wanted to let you know, that if you are interested in downloading a client for Team, go ahead and download it from here. Second thing is, I wanted to show how do we create Teams meeting. I think we covered, just the meetings in the team. I think most of us know that how to attend a team meeting. It's pretty simple. Just click on that link. But how do we create team meetings from one from the web, one from the client side? So let me go to office.com. Let me go to Outlook web. Here I am. If I have to create a team meeting, here I can click on my calendar icon, which was at the bottom, second icon, and I can click on the new event on the top left. There is an option for Teams meeting. As soon as you do that, that team meeting becomes, that meeting becomes a Teams meeting, and it automatically adds a link for team meeting. So if you see that, I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm just going to show you that if you use this feature, um, from here you might be able to see something like this. So I just created a test meeting here for tomorrow. This is the meeting that I created from Outlook web for a test team meeting, and it added this special joint Microsoft Teams meeting directly there. So this is how you create a team meetings from Outlook web. Doing it from Outlook client is super easy. You just go here. This is my Outlook client. You just go to new teams, new items, and say a Teams meeting, and it directly adds it here. So that's also very easy. And you can see that it also it presets the location as Microsoft Teams meeting, and it adds a team meeting. And then you can go about your regular way of putting the title required, timing and everything, just similar to as you're setting a regular meeting. Um, and maybe the last point that I wanted to cover here is one thing that I keep hearing some time people say, that they do not get notification for the teams when people talk, or when people mention them. Sometimes you miss it. So I realized that if you just go to Teams and if you select a channel, you have a channel notification setting, channel notification, and you can choose what you want. So in case your channel notification is not set, you will not get that information. So if you seems to find that, oh no, I missed this conversation, that may be because your channel notification is not right. So just go to here, select on this, select the team first, and then go to here and click on the channel notification. And see here right now it says, suppose if I just go off, then I will not get any notification. If I say all activity, anytime someone posts there, I will get that. So we have some options there. So whenever you feel that you're missing some notifications, go and check your channel notifications. I think that's all, Kelly. I think I'm done for the whole covering Office 365,
Very good.
apps.
Very good.
I will
Um,
stop share.
and I will, this will stop. Do you want to continue? Yes. And I will share mine. Uh, share. First of all, I want to say thank you. Second of all, boy, I don't know about anybody who's watching this, but I'm glad that this is being recorded because that was a lot of information. And I think it demonstrates that there are a lot of tools and a lot of ways to use them. And everybody's going to have a slightly different approach. I know my desktop looks completely different from her desktop, even though we're using exactly the same set of tools. So don't be put off by the idea, oh, that doesn't look like what I'm doing. Nobody's is going to look like the next person's. The real joy to a lot of this, if you can use that term here, is that you can really customize this to work for you without creating any more noise from other pieces of it. So pay attention, go back, review this. There's a lot here. Outside of Microsoft, in addition to Microsoft Teams for doing a lot of these video and audio meetings, we've also got a campus-wide license for Zoom. And so I wanted to just mention that to start with here. One of the advantages to doing the Teams meeting is in most cases, you're already in the Office 365 environment. So starting up a Teams meeting is very quick or scheduling one is very fast. Because Zoom is a standalone application, you do end up having to do the overhead of logging in. And so you have to go to this Zoom URL, the ucla.zoom.us, to start this up, to set up a meeting, or from there you can download, as Priyanka was just demonstrating, the local team app. You can download a Zoom client app onto your device, whether it's for your iPhone or your Android or onto your Windows machine. There's also a plugin that you can put into the Outlook, into your browser in Outlook to be able to do the same kind of thing. Again, here, your login is somewhat different. And I'm going to see if I can do this from my desktop. This may get a little crunchy, so bear with me. Where am I here? I'm here. I would like to, meeting controls, I would like to share my desktop. And hang on a second, let me see if I can do this. This is always a little different. What I would like to do is just my screen. Yeah, here, share that. Go to Firefox or whatever. Yeah. Now, can you see this? Priyanka, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
All right, cool. So new tab, Zoom dot, or I'm sorry, backwards. UCLA.zoom.us. And it will ask you to log in, nice UCLA colors. And here you want to use the same login that you usually use to get to your Duo, your Shibboleth sign in. And it'll remember it once you've done this a few times. And now this is going to give me this push. I'm over here on my phone, so you don't get to see that. And I approve it. It comes back and successfully logs in. And now here I am. This is who my current configuration. The thing to pay attention to is over here. On the left-hand side, you can click on meetings, and it will show you a list of the ones that you have coming up. And these are, in general, the ones that you have set up. And if you need to schedule a new meeting, you come over here to click on it, and you can now schedule it up. All right. One of the things that they've been asking for is we need to have a passcode and we need to have a waiting room. This way we don't get Zoom bombed, people jumping in. Our meetings aren't anything that is particularly attractive to that, either for the subject material or the clientele. But my wife is a professor here, and she's been pointed out from her context that some of the lecture halls have 100 or 200 people, and it's a wonderful place to do something really stupid, especially when you're new to the college environment and want to show off. So this is why people sit in waiting rooms and they have to have a passcode to get into these meetings. Once you've got this set up, you can then send the invitation around to everybody that you want to by down here. If you do a save, it will then, and I'll do this just to kind of set it up for today at, let's make it 1:30. My meeting is going to be a demo. Once you've got this done, you can also set up alternate hosts. Like for instance, the meeting that we're on right now, Gina introduced Priyanka and myself. We're all hosts on this. I can save this. And once it's been saved, you can send out an ICS file as an attachment. You can also do this invite link and connect that. And here you have copied the invitation, and it then gives you this big piece of text that's got all sorts of noise in it. Most of this is not necessary to you. Joined by SIP, joined by H323. These are for those conference call pieces of hardware that are set up, and the hardware that are in some of these huge meetings, larger bandwidth, other countries. Again, here's your ID for your meeting. Here's your passcode. It's several times in this invite. Here's your meeting ID. Here's your passcode. Notice also that down here, there's a copy meeting invitation. And if you click that, it tells you that it's been copied to your clipboard. So now you can go back to any place else that you want to do to where you're scheduling this and sending this to people as invitations to get on their schedule. And you can simply attach this to the email that you're sending to all the people that you want to have in the meeting. So that's basically what you do with Zoom. If you're trying to do this fast, you having set this whole thing up, you can literally start this meeting. I'm not going to because I don't know what it'll do to the meeting that we're already in. So that's the kind of thing. Other pieces that you've been in, it'll demonstrate. It's got some text here for webinars. I don't think any of us are doing this, but if you actually do recordings like the one that we're doing right now, there will be cloud recordings you can search by ID. There will be local recordings if you have done them locally. If you're running a meeting like Gina is running this one now and recording it, you have a choice to record it locally onto your PC or to record it to the cloud. A recommendation here, looks like they've updated the text. It used to be would be deleted automatically after 30 days. That may be a difference in our license from some other ones that I'm on. Here it says it will be 90 days, but notice that will be deleted. So if you have something that you would like to keep around for a general record for longer than that, I recommend, even with the cloud recording, download it locally and put it someplace. Your local recordings, after your Zoom meeting is over, you'll see a pop-up that says it's now processing the video, and you'll basically add a progress bar. Sometimes this can take an hour or two, depending on how long it is, and whether there was a lot of video rather than pretty much mostly audio like this one really is. So I'm going to get out of this part of the entertainment now. That's really everything that you've got for Zoom. I think it'd be just fine. Let me go back to sharing the other screen. Hang on. Where am I here? New share. I'll go back to this. So that's what I want to share is the Zoom. Again, reminder, this is the same login that you're using to get onto your Box account. And I'm sure everybody is conscious of this one, to get to your My Time for clocking in and clocking out as you go through the day. It's all the same logon here. It's not the one that was the AD email login that you were using for over in the Office 365. So everybody's walking around trying to keep multiple logins straight. And with that is a wonderful transition, keeping this part of it straight. The other resources that we've got for you, two of them specifically are Campus VPN, which you pretty much need for getting to anything that is specific and local to UCLA. As we pointed out with getting to Zoom here and getting to all the Office 365 stuff, Priyanka pointed out through office.com. Usually the login there is that it does the Duo, two-stage login to make sure that you really are who you are. But here you're actually trying to get to resources that are on campus, not just proving that you are who you are. And so in this case, you need to be using the campus virtual private network. This is a tunnel that goes from your machine to the machine network at UCLA, almost literally a physical pipeline. And I'll mention a little something because of that later on in here. First of all, you have to get the Cisco Anywhere Connect mobility client. This is available online. There are some links that we've got. There wasn't one on here, I don't think. But if you can't find it through the Bruin Online and the Campus IT link, the IT department in our division will be able to give you a link for that. It installs very easily, and when it does, it ends up being down here. I don't know if you're going to see this, but there's a little pop-up that I've got that will show you a little thing that kind of looks like a small world. I'm going to see if I can come back to that later. When you do it, once you've got it installed, you run it and it will give you a pop-up that says SSL VPN. Let me see if I can walk you through this right now.
Kelly, you might have to change your share
that's
screen.
what I'm going to try to do. This may be a little bit weird. Okay, I'm going to go back to, let's see, that's, yeah, let me see if this one does it. So screen, share.
Now we can see your taskbar.
Now you can see my taskbar down here. Okay, once it's installed, it hides itself, but it's this icon right here. And when you click on it, it says Cisco AnyConnect, just like the software is listed here. And you put this in the bar here and click connect. And this is, and one of the things I was remarking on is we have these various passwords. Oh, that's particularly ugly. We have various passwords. And in this particular case, this is my logon for this one. And there will be another that password. And then it should, down here, it says it's contacting. Couple of flickers. Oh, great. So what happened there? Let me try this again. Pardon me. And there's a possibility. See, this is where
Kelly, do you need to accept the dual authentication?
Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Sam. I didn't see it pop up on my screen. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Thank you. I had it muted, so I didn't hear it. Again, you need to Bruin Online. Connected. There's maybe a brief break in this while I'm connecting because my network connection just changed from the one I was using before to now being on a VPN back to the network. I apologize that the screen's still got some icons here. Now that I've gotten into this, now I'm connected to them. One of the things that you may notice, and I had to discover this on my own, is now you're on a network tunnel between your machine and the UCLA campus. You'll notice something. Your local hardwired, if you have a printer that's USB connected or on a hardwire that goes off of your computer, you'll be able to print on that. But if you've gotten one of the newer printers or any other devices locally in your home that you connect to by Wi-Fi, wirelessly, some of the new printers from HP and other companies, they won't work. You'll go to print to them and it'll say, oh, that printer's offline. It's not the printer's fault. It's not the computer's fault. It's that the network you're on isn't your home network anymore. The network you're on is a direct connect to UCLA, and your wireless printer isn't connected to UCLA. Just so you understand what your issue may be there. Once you're there, you can go and down here, I've got this installed on also on my taskbar, the remote desktop connection. You can find this if you don't have it by simply going down here and doing a search. Pardon me, by the way, I'm on a Windows 7 machine, and just type remote, and it should find you there, remote desktop connection. Instead of search for it, right mouse click on the thing, and it should work correctly. It seems to be acting a little slow here. Anyway, you can actually take that and you can someplace on here, there, pin to the start menu, or since I got it pinned to the taskbar already, it would unpin it from the taskbar. There's ways to make it so you don't have to go through this rigmarole. It's just always down here where I've got it. So click on that, and it comes up and asks for this. This is can we restart this? Thank you. So you can go back to this and use this. It won't look like your desktop at the office, but will have your access to your applications at the office. Your username will have to be tsnet / and then whatever your username is at work when you're logging on there, as it remarks down here. Same path as you logged on. If you have, my credentials are saved here, but it'll do a connect, same kind of password as you've got before. Oh, I'm sorry, it didn't have this saved. Let me check this. And come on, see if this works. Yeah. I just had to change a password here, so let me check and see something. Sorry. There you go. And it'll look this banal. If you have if you have wallpaper behind it or anything like that, it's going to be gone. But it does have your access to your local computer, and you'll be able to get to all these programs that are on here. So you can use the local network. You can get to your browser, to your files by clicking down here and looking at all this stuff. The big thing here is, if you click on all programs, you'll have this TS applications here. This has been recently installed, or an icon on here has been recently installed, the Internet applications. By clicking on here, you get a browser front end, Internet Explorer, and I tried this earlier. It takes a little while for it to get rolling. Yeah. But here you are, and let me scroll this up. Sorry. And now you can get to all those applications that were available back at the office. And this is why you need the virtual private network, that tunnel back there. And so these are all here. Some of the public applications, some of the stuff that's just reports, Park Hub for Roy and stuff like that. This is all out here and available to you as it goes. So this was something that gets mentioned on the very last page on the ENT website. And but the problem is when you click on the link there, it won't take you here because you aren't necessarily on a VPN just to get to the ENT browser website. So in order to get to these applications, this is how you would do that. All right. So I'm going to get out of here. And it will, when you close that session, it will say this is going to disconnect your remote session. It doesn't disconnect you from your remote logon. So you need to remember that you're still on that VPN, and you may want to be able to get off of there. All right. You may want to remember to get off of there. So I'm going to do that. We may have a brief disconnect on this session. So I'll just shut up for a moment. Okay. Can everybody hear me again?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear you.
yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So all that having been said, we're running a little long. Our last page, we've got, and by the way, this entire slideshow was sent out originally on the invitation on this. So if you go to your calendar where you clicked on to come here, this should be available to you. If you can't find it, or if it disappears and you want to try to find it later, get in touch with Gina. She will be able to email it to you. We've got the internet site. This is what I was just talking about. The last page on the internet site tries to take you to what I was just showing you, but you may run into some technical issues because of the network connectivity to get to those applications. Telecommuting resources are on there. The internet applications are what I was just showing you. And San, the wonderful person who jumped in when I was making a mistake on my login, is one of the people who's at the help desk or on this phone number. And they're brilliant. San and Mike do just an amazing job of covering everybody for this. I want to say thank you. We were going to have a little time here at the end for questions. I don't know if there are any, so I'll have this open for the next couple of minutes if anybody would like to. Thank you very much to Priyanka, and I appreciate your taking the time here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kelly. What I'll go ahead and do for anyone that will be accessing the recording, I'll go ahead and stop that right now, and then we'll open it up for a Q&A.